welcome back to the channel. My name is Deborah, aka the Sunset Girl Creates, and today we're going to continue working on Spring Bridge, which is this section will be done today. I only have 8.5 colors to go, and then our flowers and our cherry blossoms. So it won't take a whole lot of time to complete our painting today. I will be using my pen from Diamond Art Club, as well as my tray from my 3D design, so it is broke up for 3 sections, and my bead mat that is under my tray right now currently. And so we are going to be reading the article. Sorry, I was trying to fix my pen. Crafts for Kids with Autism to Build Skills, March 29th, 2021. And I was skipping over the Earth Day ones and all of that, but autism, since I have my oldest grandchild, he has Asperger's, which is a mild form of autism. And a lot of these things were things that we had to do with him so that he could function in the world, right? And he does pretty well. He still is very much likes to be on his own. He is very fast and quick at Legos. Pokemon is one of his favorite things. And he has a folder full of his Pokemon cards, right? And this kid can tell me what every single one of them are and what they do. He is a smart cookie. And so I thought it would be good to dedicate this video to my grandson. He is, let's see, he was born in 2008, and so that makes him 13. So he's my oldest. Sorry, I don't remember numbers and the ages that some of my grandchildren are, but I do know who they are, and I know what they are and what their birthdays are, and they all are aware of who Mima is. Okay, so we worked with my grandson for a long time, and so I helped my daughter through a lot of times when she was raising him as a young boy, and different things when he was with her husband who passed away, the father of her 2 younger kids, and Ryan and Eliza's sister and brother. And so those are my 4 grandkids. But let's put this towards Ryan and dedicate this in hopes that he has an awesome life and has learned to manage his Asperger's enough to function in the world, right? So that's what I want to see for my grandson. I hope that in time people can understand that some of the things and fits he went through as a child was because of his Asperger's, and he probably will be a lot like his mother. And so I probably won't have a lot of communication with him. I've seen Eliza a lot more. And she loves to spend time and craft with me when she's here. And I want her to know that both of my grandkids, they're old enough that if they want to see these videos, they can find them. So if Brian or Eliza, either one of you are out there listening to me, Mom, I hope that you can have the life that you're looking for and the life that you want. And if you ever need me, I'm here for you, and I love you both. Okay, so remember that if you do watch these. I don't have much communication with them, so I don't know what they're doing, where they are. I know what they're doing. I know where they are. I know where both my grandchildren are and what's going on with them. My mother makes sure I keep updated with that. She's very, very close to my older two grandchildren. She was around when they were growing up, where I lived in either another state or another town, and I wasn't able to be as involved in their lives as she was. And then when I moved to Florida, it virtually became impossible. So, they are in California, or one's in California, the other one's in Colorado. But let's go on. What else is going on? Oh, I'm still watching Once Upon a Time. I love that. And once Upon a Time is done, or once I can get to get some tools to use, and I want to find some tools to use that might be cost effective for me right now, that'll allow me to learn the craft and not necessarily just be a professional at this point. The good tools will come in time. They always do when I do art. We will eventually get them, whether I get them for Christmas presents, birthday presents, or I buy them myself. Either way, we are very happy with what we've got and what is going on. So, right now everything's going pretty well. I know that we still have quite a few more weeks to go before we'll even hear from the adjudicator. I wish it was a lot sooner than 2 to 3 months, but because of being behind with Social Security and the case that we got, I'm hoping that the case that we put together, that I worked with the adjudicator with, is enough to put me over to where they'll approve my disability without having to do too much fighting. Doing that kind of fighting is going to be tough. I do have a nice attorney's office, and they will get me through what I need to get through so that I can eventually get what the government owes me. And sometimes you have to go all the way to court. And so if that happens, we will do that. That is the third step. There's a step in between when the adjudicator, that's the appeal kind of thing. And then if the appeal doesn't work, then you go to court. So that's where we're at. We can't make any decisions or anything until we know one way or the other. We're kind of just in the waiting period right now. What is going on here? Oh, okay, that's upside down, that's why. Okay, that's why. And then this one should go in now that that one's set up right. Okay. I knew there was a reason that wasn't working, right? So that's where we're at with that. We're still waiting on that. So we're just going to sit here and go through our days. My husband and I, neither one of us felt very good yesterday, so we just took the day off and relaxed. I did get Sunday's video completed. Today is Monday's video. And Sunday's is already uploaded and will be released about by 9 o'clock today, like I normally schedule it. And so that will be available for your viewing pleasure. And I think what we're going to do next is I am going to go ahead and get started on our article. I'm actually going to put my iPad down here on the bottom and try to place diamonds and read at the same time. So we can really make this a WIP and chat, and you're not just sitting here listening to me and not watching me whip and chat. So WIP, by the way, means work in progress, and today we are doing our work in progress on the Spring Bridge. So grab anything that you're doing and come join us as we read our article, Crafts for Kids with Autism to Build Skills, okay? Arts and craft projects provide a multitude of skill-building opportunities for kids with autism. In fact, occupational therapists who work with children commonly use enjoyable projects to help their patients gain and sharpen skills in a fun way. So, you know, it doesn't have to be difficult to learn something, right? We don't have to go to the extreme to learn something at all in this world, do we? It's easy to learn things. Go on YouTube, right? YouTube is YouTube University. I've not seen anything yet that I can't find on YouTube. Everything that I've ever looked for is available. And I've looked for some really different things. But with that said, you want to make the therapy for your kids fun. We used Legos. He loved Legos. Putting them together, he'd sit there for hours and he would focus on the Legos. And when he was done, he usually felt better. And so make sure they're fun. Keeping kids engaged during therapy sessions can be challenging. Occupational therapists know that getting children to participate through play is the best way to keep the kids focused. So if you can keep them on one task as you're working with them and you get them going, by the time you get them going and you talk to them and you keep them engaged, that's part of the thing about kids is a lot of people set their kids in front of their televisions or computers or iPhone or whatever makes it convenient to hand to your child so you don't have to occupy them, right? I'm busy right now, here, watch a movie, right? Is that really the way that raising children is done properly? No. It happens in the world though, right? And it happens with a lot of kids with autism as well. And a lot of them aren't recognized as having autism, especially younger ones, okay? But you want the arts and craft projects, since they are some of the most effective forms of creative play when it comes to helping kids build life projects. So arts and crafts that therapists focus on really can help. So, you know, it's finding what your autistic child enjoys doing, right? It's really important to, and this doesn't just count for children that have autism. I mean, this counts for children in general, right? Because right now, the way the world is moving, kids are being exposed to the electronics way too early, way too much, and they're not experiencing outside activities, right? How many kids do you see nowadays play outside? I don't see many, and I live in Florida, okay? They're either in there and they've got their air conditioners, right? And mom and dad want to stay cool. So if we're going to stay cool, we're going to keep the house cool. So the kids are going to want to be in here, and I don't want them to really bother me right now. So what are you going to do? You're going to hook up a video game, or you're going to turn on a television show for them to watch. Wouldn't it be nicer if you gave them a color book and some crayons to occupy them? Man, open those creative juices. Let your kids really out there to learn. It's important that you find things that are beneficial for your children, right? Not just throwing them in front of a video screen of any kind, or a game, or whatever it may be, right? Limit your children to what amount of time they can spend on those devices, right? And really let your kids have an opportunity to grow and shine, okay? As a parent, you too can help your child build confidence through various activities, from diamond painting to making sensory bubbles. There are all sorts of projects you can work on with your son or daughter to help them strengthen valuable skill sets. Keep reading to discover some fun projects you both are sure to enjoy. So, the way I look at the world is that if we can focus more creative play with our kids, and with kids in general, right? Do some more creative play. Get their creative juices. That's where the writers come from. That's where the musicians come from. That's where the poets come from. That's where the artists come from. Is from when they're children and they're nurtured, right? And you give them the opportunity to learn and to grow, right? And that's what our job is as parents, is to give our children the best opportunity that we can, right? That's the way I feel about kids. Give them their opportunity. Because every kid is different. Every kid needs to be able to explore what's good, what's right, and what's wrong for them. So choosing the right project to work on with your child. Autism exists on a broad spectrum. As a result, autistic children have a wide range of language, motor, and cognitive abilities. They also have varying interests, sensory preferences, and aversions. As a parent, it is important to recognize your child's unique strengths, weaknesses, and preferences, and consider that when choosing activities, if you're trying to determine how to best engage your child in play-based, skill-based activities, always keep their minds and always keep their needs and interests in mind. So if you can remember the things that your kids need, right? Which as a parent, that's part of our job, is to ensure that we make sure that the things that we give our kids are things that our children can benefit from. And yes, we can use computers in a beneficial way. You can use a computer to learn a new language. You can use a computer to crunch a spreadsheet, run numbers for you, run calculations for you. And you have the opportunity to build on something that's worth building on from the beginning, right? That's your opportunity that this gives you. And let's think about it. What is the best thing for us to offer our children? And as parents, that's got to be your choice. I can't tell you what to do, but I can offer things that I've done or that I've seen done. So, okay, so occupational therapists strive to help kids with autism build their student skills for learning rather than forcing them to complete difficult tasks that only lead to frustration. They use a strategy called scaffolding to help the parent build skills without becoming aggravated or overwhelmed. You can use this technique at home too. Make skill building activities more enjoyable and beneficial to your child by asking them to think about new ways to approach tasks or solve problems. So with any kid, you can put this out for any kid, okay? And it's especially important for autistic kids. So I don't want anybody to go away and say that I don't have compassion for autistic kids, and I turn everything that's right for them around to things that would be right for regular kids. That is not what I'm doing. I'm just doing is saying that if you're thinking about asking your children about tasks and how to approach and solve problems, right? If you've been working with them, they're going to come up with whatever that thing is, that craft, that Legos, whatever it is that you're working with. Those are kind of things that they're going to come up with, right? If they enjoy them. Make sure it's things they enjoy. Having them explain the steps or select the supplies needed to complete the task, which is good. I mean, you can use this. The reason I'm saying it's available to use for all kids is because you must have more than one child in the house, right? So if you have more than one child in the house, this could be applicable to all your children, just not the autistic, right? So, because we want to embrace all children, no matter what is going on with those children, right? So our goal is to embrace children and to embrace ways to help them learn. Because as you know, we all learn differently. Like, I can't learn to do something if I don't pick it up and do it myself, right? But I know that about myself, right? Yes, I do. And I know that that's an important skill that I need to have, right? So what do? Well, I need to do what's going to be best for my children, right? So what can I learn and what can I take home with this, right? So that's what we're learning, okay? Breaking large projects down into smaller, more manageable steps. So if they have multiple things they have to get completed, it's probably with something with multiple steps. Sometimes multiple steps for an autistic child is too much. So if you break it up into workable sections for your child to handle, because you're the one that knows where your child sits on the autistic spectrum, you know probably what your child can do, right? So you need to be your child's advocate, right? And you need to know what works for your own child. And you can do these things at home, right? And you can do this with all your children, because these are good techniques to work for all kids. If you have a child with HDAD, you know, or hyperactivity, or whatever it is that your child may have, these are things that work for all children. And it may be a way that if you're having a hard time reaching your child, say your child's almost a teenager or something's going on, see if you can excuse me, introduce a craft to them, right? See if you can introduce some of these things, okay? Demonstrating how to do things they're struggling with. So when they're struggling with things, don't do it for them. Demonstrate by doing, and then let them repeat, right? Because we're not going to just do it for them, they'll never learn. But if you demonstrate, because some kids learn by doing or seeing, sometimes maybe understanding is not all there in a verbal language. You've got to find ways to talk to your children. Prompting your child through the project. So it's important that you should be helping your child succeed, right? You're going to be pushing your child a little bit. Yes, we all need to push our children, right? And I know it's really scary to push children that we know that sit on these autistic scales, and trying to motivate and bring in something that they can learn is a good way to help that. and you need to always maintain a positive, supportive attitude. Ultimately, helping your son or daughter develop skills through play-based activities should be fun. The activities should match his or her interests, and everyone should have a great time while working on them. While virtually any art or craft project works to help kids develop important life skills, here are a few great crafts for kids with autism. So, let me see, how do I want to put this so that it's taken properly? All children can develop their life skills through arts and crafts, okay? And some kids, even though they may not have autism, sometimes this may be the way that you get through to them, right? Because I know a lot of kids that I've watched on like the Food Network channel that got into some bad stuff, and then they ran in and got started doing something as a job or as volunteer or whatever to cook, right? It was their job to cook for the shelter, right? But in order for him to learn the skills, he had to go to culinary school, and he had to want the desire. So that's what this means by doing things that are in interest of your children. So what do your children want? What do they engage with, right? Because those are the important things to figure out. Now, diamond painting. Diamond art kits are great for kids as well as adults with autism. If you're not familiar with the craft, though, you may be wondering, what is diamond painting? In short, it is the art of creating beautiful images on a canvas using resin rhinestones rather than paint. The craft has taken the world by storm and is similar to paint by numbers and cross-stitch. Diamond painting is a great play-based creative activity for helping kids develop important life skills for a few reasons. For starters, the canvas is clearly labeled with symbols and codes which tell you exactly what color rhinestones need to be placed where. This makes painting with diamonds a project anyone can successfully complete. Because the stones are small, using a tool to put them in the proper place can help kids with focus, patience, and build fine motor skills. This activity can also help children enhance their ability for color and shape recognition. In addition, diamond painting is a fantastic creative craft to do with other family members and friends, so your child can learn about teamwork and collaboration. And so my grandson, he grew up with a lot of kids and sisters and brothers. He's got lots of sisters and brothers on both parents' side. And so he's used to having kids and collaboration and having to work together. But not all kids have that opportunity, right? Diamond art kits come in many different designs and sizes too, making it possible to find something well suited to any kid's interest and skill level. After they've finished their painting, you can also frame it so your child can hang their artwork for all to see. And sometimes maybe not putting it where everybody can see, but putting it in your kid's room so that when they get up in the morning, they see that they've accomplished something. And man, if I can do that, maybe I can do something else, right? So you got to find ways to continue that education after you've done that one project. You've got to continue to do the projects. You've got to continue to put it where your children can see it. Sensory art using paint. So sensory art is something many kids with autism enjoy and benefit greatly from. For those who avoid painting due to tactile defensiveness or simply because they don't like to get messy, it is necessary to get a bit creative to make the experience enjoyable. Chances are you have all sorts of toys and household objects can be used to make your painting fun for the little one. One option for kids who don't like getting their hands dirty involves either a box or a baking pan with sides. Paint, paper, and marbles. Place the paper in the bottom of the box or pan. Then add a few gobs of paint to the paper. Put a few marbles inside the box and then encourage your child to tilt the pan box from side to side to roll marbles through the paint. Another option is placing a piece of paper inside a zippered plastic bag, adding a few gobs of paint, and then zipping the bag closed. Your child can then move the paint around the paper by pressing the inside of the bag. Think of it as finger painting without the mess. This project allows your child to explore how different colors combine to form other colors. Many also love the way the paint feels through the bag. When it comes to painting, using a brush is by no means mandatory. Get creative and you'll surely come up with unique ways for your son or daughter to experience the joys of painting in his or her own way. Our next one is contact paper shapes. Contact paper provides plenty of skill-building opportunities. Your child can practice cutting and ripping it in various shapes and then using those shapes to create a design. Transparent contact paper in multiple colors can be used to create a design reminiscent of stained glass. Layering different colors teaches kids about mixing color too. Many shapes and designs with contact paper is a project that can be repeated throughout the year. In the spring, use pastel colors to create cute decorations appropriate for the time of year. In the summer, use red, white, and blue to make patriotic decor. Oranges, browns, and yellows are all perfect for fall, while red and green or shades of blue work well during winter months. You can also use this as an opportunity to teach your child a bit about color theory and the reasons behind why certain colors are associated with certain holidays or times of the year. That's good. That would cause you to do a little bit more research, but sometimes doing the research for your children is worth it. As much time as we spend on the screen, we should be spending that time on the screen finding things for our kids to do, right? Making sure that what our kids have is what they need, right? It's between 0, 26. I was just trying to find, oh, here it is. It's over here. I was on the other side. So, I was looking for my color. I'm going to switch colors. I'm moving from this one to the dot. So, paper plate crafts. These are really good. You can get those cheap ones that have the rippled sides on them, and they're really thin. They're perfect for these. You may think of them as a convenient way of getting out of the dishes, but paper plates can be so much more. They form the foundation for a wide range of different projects that can be transformed into all sorts of things, from caterpillars to rainbows to hats. Paper plates can be turned into just about anything. If you're looking for an easy, inexpensive way to unleash your daughter or son's creativity, give him or her a few white paper plates, some markers or paint, and glue, and watch them go. And just let them do what they want, right? Because it's not hurting anything. As long as you put them in a safe place and they have scissors that aren't going to hurt them, don't worry about it. You might be surprised at just what your kid comes up with when crafting with simple paper plates. I've seen many things made from paper plates. It's not something I played with, though. I did do some of that, and I did do some of it with my kids, actually. Now that I think about it, it is something that I've done with my children, with my daughter mainly, because she was the one that was living with me at the time, and so mostly it was with her. So sand art, I love this. I love sand art too. Creating works of art using sand exposes your child to a new sensory and textural experience. using non-toxic art sand or homemade edible sand, and the instructions are below, and transparent bottles. Your toddler or tween can experience with pouring and mixing various colors to create unique layered designs. That's right, this is a great craft for kids of all ages. Another option requires construction paper, glue, and a disposable aluminum pan. Lay the construction paper in the bottom of your pan and then have your child draw shapes or designs on the paper using glue. Alternatively, you can draw the shapes and encourage them to identify them before glue dries. Help them pour some sand into the pan. Finally, have your kid gently tilt and move the pan from side to side until the glue is covered. If your daughter or son has a habit of tasting things, consider more edible sand rather than using art sand. You can do this by pouring a generous amount of salt in a zippered plastic bag and adding a few drops of liquid food color. Knead until the sand is all mixed up and evenly colored. Keep an eye to make sure they don't eat too much sand while they play. Okay, that was neat. I've never done that one before. That's an interesting one. We're not going to the dot. We're going to actually minus. So we're going to do all this green minus around here. So we got a bunch to do now. So it'll keep us busy for the rest. Glittery Slime is next. And I'm not going to talk too much. I'm probably going to read mostly because I've said pretty much what I had to say. I don't know a whole lot about autism, and I don't want to come across as though I'm an expert. I do not have any expertise in autism. I helped my daughter, but I wasn't there on a day-to-day basis to work with him. So I know what I've been told and what I've learned through working with my grandson, okay? So I've not talked to doctors. I've not done a lot of research myself on it. I did assist my daughter in learning how to do research like that so that she could do research on it and understand it. So glittery slime. There aren't many kids who don't love slime these days. Playing with slime is a fun sensory project that can help your toddler or tween build various expertise. To get started, you'll need 8 ounces of white glue, a cup of room temperature water, 5 cups of warm water, a teaspoon of borax, and lots of glitter. You'll also need a large and small mixing bowl, a cooking spoon, and a zippered plastic bag. Start by helping your son or daughter add the glue and room temperature water to the large mixing bowl. Mix well. Then help them pour the warm water and borax into the smaller bowl. Once the borax has dissolved completely, have your kid carefully pour the borax water into the glue mixture and stir for about 5 minutes. Last comes the most fun part of all, adding the glitter. When the slime is ready, let your child play with it. If they have issues with certain textures, they may not like the stickiness on their hands. In this case, you may want to put it in a zippered plastic bag so they can enjoy the slime without the stickiness. So it's all about finding solutions, right? If we have a problem and we have something we need to work through. I am losing my hair like left and right. I pulled off like 6 hairs off my arm today. I don't know why it's falling out. Weird. Okay. It's like irritating me. It's all over the place. And I'm trying to keep it from getting on the painting. So we'll just keep going with what we're working on. I just kind of wanted to tell you why I was taking a break. I also kind of wanted to look to see where the colors were, to see if maybe there's a spot I might be able to diamond paint on and get going. So, handmade musical instruments. This is a good one. I like this one. If you like to help your child, daughter or son develop motor or cognitive abilities and have an awesome auditory experience, making musical instruments is a great option. Every household item can be used to create fun instruments that will provide your kids with different types of auditory feedback. If you have dry pasta, beans, rice, beads, aluminum foil, cardboard tubes, and rubber bands, you have everything you need to get started. When it comes to making instruments, the possibilities are virtually limitless. And no matter what you make, your child will gain a knack for music while making and playing their creation. And then they have a link to some DIY instrument ideas to get you started, which goes to Home We Learn. Home We, W-E-E, Learn. And it's got 42 creative homemade musical instruments on it. So you can get into this article on Diamond Art Club and follow that link if you would like to do so. The next one is edible Play-Doh. So we're going to work with edible Play-Doh now. Making edible Play-Doh is a project that will engage nearly all the 5 senses. Working with finished dough is also a great way to inspire their creativity and help them build motor skills. Making edible Play-Doh requires ingredients you likely already have in your cupboard, and the overall project is simple. You can find the instructions for whipping up a batch of edible Play-Doh here, and there's a link, and that link takes you to Amazing K, okay? And it says how to make the Play-Doh. So you can go there if you'd like that. If you'd like to take this recipe to the next level, try adding a packet of unsweetened Kool-Aid for flavor and color. So that's a good way to add to that Play-Doh that your child's playing with, so they have something that is fun to play with, and they have some multiple colors to play with. Sensory bottles. Sensory bottles have multiple functions for autistic children. They can be used to aid with self-regulation and help kids calm down. Or they can provide visual stimulation that meets their unique needs. I Spy sensory bottles are great as they provide fun activities to kids with autism. So that's kind of a really cool idea to do, don't you think? Doing bottles. What can you do with those bottles that will help them? Think about it. This really just says making sensory bottles, and I'm not sure where you get sensory bottles, but I bet we could find out if we needed to. Bottles can be filled with nearly anything, as they are as fun to make as they are to play with. Have your son or daughter help with picking out what to include in the bottle and fill it up. When they've finished, carefully glue the lid in place to ensure the bottle won't leak. Check out this guide for some ideas on what to fill your child's sensory bottle with. So I clicked on that, and it goes to speech bulbs, and it is sensory bottles for autism, a simple guideline. And they talk about sensory bottles. So if you're interested in that, go ahead and click over that link from the article on Diamond Art Club's website. So make learning fun. Doing arts and crafts is a great way to engage autistic children and help them learn important lessons and techniques through play. The crafts for kids with autism listed above are just a few of the many great projects you can work on with your son or daughter. Plan activities that suits his or her interests as well as their attention span. This is why diamond painting is especially strong choice, for canvases come in an endless amount of designs and sizes, which allow kids to showcase their autistic side and the finished project once completed. Plus, after they finalize and frame their diamond art painting, you can order another kit for your son or daughter to start that dons another one of their interests. So the fun never ends. Remember, the process is much more important than the finished product. Start with a small, simple project and build from there. Maintain a positive, upbeat attitude and be sure to praise your kid along the way. Most importantly, have fun. The more enjoyable the project is, the more your child will learn. And you know, with diamond painting, as I'm sitting here, there's a lot of things that you can help your kids with, right? And as they're diamond painting, you can be helping them. You can help them recognize, because it's a hand-eye coordination, right? Because you have to recognize the symbol that goes with the color, right? And if you label your bottles with that symbol on there and the number, it's going to make it easier for them to know which symbol to pick up, right? I needed to grab something to drink. I'm sorry, my mouth was like super dry. And that's like super cold. So almost a brain freeze. But there's lots of things in there. So you've got hand-eye coordination, because they have to be able to pick up the diamond and place it in. So they have to coordinate enough to be able to do that process, right? And maybe it's helping them learn how that hand-eye coordination works so that they can do it themselves. So maybe the first one or two that you do is something you do together. Or you can like get those keychains. There's lots of different keychains to come up with. There's dogs. I mean, I'm sure that there's got to be something out there for a little boy or a little girl that they would enjoy doing. Because I know the little girl stuff's out there, because my granddaughter is a diamond painting fanatic. I ask her what she wants to do in her crafting, and the first thing that comes, can we diamond paint, Mima? Of course we can diamond paint. I will diamond paint with my granddaughter all day long if that's what she wants. Drives my husband crazy, but it's the only time I get with them now is on FaceTime, so I try to do it as much as possible. It's really hard when they like call late in the evening, and I'm already getting ready to go to sleep, but I will talk to them. My granddaughter does not like to get off the phone when she has me on. She will likely talk until the phone's dead if I let her, and she's done that many times. But it is something that her and I enjoy doing, and we do it together. She's very intelligent, but I want to start getting her into crafts, and I want, when she comes back, I want to see if while we're diamond painting, I can talk to her and see what might be, going on, What are you feeling? Because, I know that my granddaughter was pulled in a lot of different directions when she was little. She always wanted to have Mima, so Mima took her. Unfortunately, at that time I wasn't able to take my 9-month-old grandson, and to this day I regret not doing that, but it was a choice I had to make then. I now don't have any of the children, and so I have to do things via FaceTime. But I get along with their great-grandmother very well, who has the children, so I wanted to make sure that they were all good, okay? I don't want to interfere, and before I talk to Carly about it, I will be speaking to her grandmother first, and let her know that I kind of want to have a little conversation to see how she's doing, and kind of see where she's coming from when why she doesn't want to stop and go use the bathroom or get up in the middle of the night. We know she can. We know that she can do it. She's done it for long periods of time, and then they start doing something like traveling around, or, her mom calls or something triggers and she falls back into it. And I want to see if there's a way that her and I can communicate through art to help her through that, because I want her to learn to crochet, but part of it is she has to learn not to have accidents anymore. And we know now that they're most likely not accidents. She knows when she does it, and she just doesn't care. I mean, that comes from her mother who left her in diapers, and it really pissed me off. And when I found out all the stuff that my daughter was actually doing that I wasn't aware. But my grandkids are doing great, and so diamond painting and other crafts, we do all kinds of other crafts. I've sent them yarn with toilet paper rolls and some popsicle sticks, and we made little knitting looms out of popsicle sticks and the toilet paper roll, and the kids had a blast doing it. And so we bring in, and I think that's what that was the trigger that really got Carly wanting to do the fiber arts as well, and not just diamond painting. She is open to all kinds of crafts, but she has specifically said there's 2 things she wants to learn to do. One is origami, and the other one is crocheting. And so if we even have to do that over FaceTime, then that's what we'll do. But I'm still not traveling right now. There's too many people that have not been vaccinated that are running around without masks, and so because of that, we stay home most of the time. But I think that will end what we're talking about today. And I want to thank everybody for watching. If you like this video, a thumbs up would be great. If you don't like this video, a thumbs down is fine, but please let us know in the comments below why. If you have want to become part of the Sunset Girl Creates family, we would love to have you. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button down below, as well as if you want to know every time I upload a video, all you have to do is select that little bell icon right next to the subscribe button. And with all that said, I want to thank everybody and wish you all a very fun, wonderful rest of your day. Bye-bye.